Welcome to High School Academic Derby, brought to you by the Onslow County Schools. In our first match today, Richlands plays White Oak. Our scorekeeper for all of our matches today is Erica Smith. For round one, the Richlands coach is Justine Smith, and her players are
Joshua Larimore, sophomore.
Tyler Martin, sophomore.
Jason Lassala, senior.
Michaela Selby, freshman.
White Oak is coached by Ashley Baker, and her players for this round will be
Brandon Barnett, freshman.
John Lotzis, sophomore.
Players. Your first toss-up deals with U.S. presidents. Under this U.S. president, Native Americans were granted citizenship in 1924. Identify this 20th century leader. That was Calvin Coolidge. Literary terms. When developing this aspect of a novel, an author might use the direct approach, as was often the case during the Romantic period, or he may employ the indirect approach, as is common in contemporary literature. Identify this element of a novel that includes the types static, dynamic, flat. Tyler.
Characterization.
That's correct. For your bonuses, identify each of the following literary terms. All answers will start with a letter A. Number 1, the type of literature represented by Animal Farm and Lord of the Flies. Number 2, a brief story told to illustrate a point or serve as an example of something. Number 3, a brief, cleverly worded statement that makes a wise observation about life or of a principle or accepted general truth. Sometimes it's also called an epigram. Number 4, a central character who lacks all the qualities typically associated with the protagonist. Tyler.
For 1, we have allegory. For 2, we have nothing. For 3, we have adage. And for 4, we have antagonist.
Number 1 is correct for 2 points. White Oak, 2, 3, or 4.
We have nothing.
Number 2 is an anecdote. Number 3 is an aphorism. And number 4 is an anti-hero. Geography. This South American nation has 2 capitals, one of which is the administrative capital and the other, whose name means sugar, and John.
Bolivia.
Bolivia is correct. For your bonus, I will read the names of 3 major cities. You are to identify the country in which all 3 are located. Number 1, Perth, Adelaide, Darwin. Number 2, Rifa, Ascar, Manama. Number 3, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Beijing. Number 4, Ibadan, Abuja, Lagos. John.
For 1, we have Australia. For 2, we have China. And for 3, we have Nigeria.
Number 1 is correct for 2 points. Richlands, 2, 3, or 4.
For 2, we have Sweden. For 4, we have Cambodia.
Number 2 is Bahrain. Number 3 is China. Number 4, Nigeria. You had your numbers off on that one. Art toss-up. James Abbott McNeill Whistler coined this term to designate his paintings that depicted scenes evocative of the night or subjects portrayed in a veil of light, twilight, or the absence of direct light. Identify this word beginning with an N that is derived from a Latin form for the word night. It's called a nocturne. Next toss-up deals with computer programs. Designed and built from the ground up for mobile and cloud capabilities, the 2016 version of what Microsoft program was released in September 2015? John?
Office.
That's correct. For your bonus, number 1, identify each term from technology. The first is the type of operators used to refine searches that include and, not, and or. Number 2, the meaning of the acronym DSL as it relates to older forms of internet connection that allows sharing of telephone and data transmissions. Number 3, a specially coded text that, when clicked, enables a user to jump from one location on a web page or within a digital presentation to another web page. Number 4, the type of technology demonstrated by Palm Pilot, Dell Axim, and Lexibook Touchman. John?
For 3, we have hyperlink.
Number 3 is correct for 2 points. 1, 2, or 4, Richlands?
For 1, we have conditional logic. For 2, we have dial-up service line. And for 4, we have nothing.
Number 1, they're called Boolean operators. Number 2, it's a digital subscriber line. And number 4 is a PDA, or personal digital assistant. U.S. history. Which American general, who later became president, assumed supreme command of the Allied Expeditionary Force in Europe on June 25, 1942? John?
Dwight Eisenhower.
That's correct. For your bonus, correctly identify each of the following related to the history of the White House. Number 1, the president whose death resulted in the White House being draped in black in 1881. Number 2, the unique room proposed by President William Howard Taft in 1909 for construction. Number 3, the First Lady who led the public on a televised tour of the White House. Number 4, the President who commissioned the building of the West Wing to house the Executive Office. John?
For 3, we have Eleanor Roosevelt.
For which one?
3.
No, that's not correct. Richlands, any of the 4?
For 1, we have Lincoln. For nothing for 2, 3, 4.
Number 1 is James Garfield. Number 2, the Oval Office. Number 3, Jacqueline Kennedy. Number 4, Theodore Roosevelt. That's the end of round 1. We'll come back with a score in round 2 in just a moment.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the College Fair.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
After one round, our score is White Oak 10, Richlands 4. We have some new players to meet for Richlands.
JT Sandlin, sophomore.
Mark Sylvani, senior.
Toss-up number 1 is a math calculation, so it will be read twice for you players. The equation of a line is y equals 1/2 x minus 4. Express this line's equation in the form ax plus by equals c, more commonly known as standard form. The equation of a line is y equals 1/2 x minus 4. Express this line's equation in the form ax plus by equals Jason.
Is it a negative 1/2 x plus y equals negative 4?
Incorrect. Do you have an answer, White Oak? Okay, it's x minus 2y equals 8. Chemistry. Used widely in the semiconductor industry, this metal is fun to experiment with and is non-toxic, unlike mercury. Identify this element located immediately below aluminum on the periodic table. Tyler.
Gallium.
Gallium's correct. For your bonuses, identify each of the following related to aluminum. Number 1, the element located to the right of aluminum on the periodic table. Number 2, name for the mixture of powdered aluminum and iron oxide that gives off great heat when ignited. Number 3, compound whose formula is AlOH3. Number 4, and the OH is in a parenthesis with a 3 outside of it. And number 4, the most common isotope of aluminum. Tyler.
For 1, we have phosphorus, and for 3, we have aluminum hydroxide. Nothing for 2 or 4.
Number 3 is correct for 2 points. 1, 2, or 4, White Oak?
We have nothing.
Sorry. Okay. Number 1 is silicon. Number 2, thermite. Number 4, Al27. Pop culture. Developed with Adidas Originals, the Yeezy Boost 350 tennis shoe is named for this celebrity who first gained fame as a producer for Rockefeller Records. Tyler.
Kanye West.
Correct. For your bonuses, identify each of the following people who appeared in the news in the year 2015 to 2016. Number 1, the former Alaska governor who in January 2016 endorsed Donald Trump. Number 2, the English singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist who crossed many genres and released the album Black Star prior to his January 2016 death. Number 3, as of December 2015, this man was serving in President Barack Obama's cabinet as the White House Chief of Staff. And number 4, the American boxer who defeated Manny Pacquiao by unanimous decision at the MGM Grand Las Vegas in May 2015. Tyler. Any answers?
For 1, we have Sarah Palin. For 2, we have David Bowie. And for 4, we have Mayweather. Nothing for 3.
Those 3 are all correct for 6 points. Any number 3, White Oak?
No.
Dennis McDonough. Mammals. Instead of giving birth to live young as do placental mammals and marsupials, this order of mammals lays eggs. Identify this order that includes the echidna. Monotremata. Geography. Jacob is writing a research paper about the current tensions in the Middle East. Which 3 continents does this geographic region encompass? Jason.
Asia, Europe, and Africa.
Correct. For your bonus, identify each of the following facts related to world geography. Number 1, the capital of North Korea. Number 2, the dynasty under whose leadership the main construction of the Great Wall occurred from 1368 to 1644. Number 3, name any 3 of the 4 major Japanese islands. Number 4, name the small nation tucked between Guyana and French Guiana in South America. Tyler.
For 1, we have Pyongyang. For 2, we have Kin, and nothing for 3 or 4.
Number 1 is correct for 2 points. White Oak, 2, 3, or 4.
For 2, we have Ming. For 3, we have Hokkaido. And for 4, we have Suriname.
2 and 4 correct for 4 points needed. 3 of the islands, Hokkaido is one. The others you could have given were Honshu, Kyushu, and Shikoku. That's the end of our second round. We'll come back with a lightning round right after this.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the College Fair.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
After 2 rounds, the score is Richlands 20, White Oak 14. We have 1 new player to meet for Richlands.
Riley Stone, freshman.
Today's lightning round, all of the answers begin with the letter L. Number 1, a kind of bean or the capital of Peru. John.
Lima.
Correct. State of matter which has a definite volume. Tyler.
Liquid.
Correct. The language of ancient Rome. Tyler.
Latin.
Correct. In complete metamorphosis, the stage between the egg and the pupa. Tyler.
Larvae.
Correct. Baltic Republic of Europe bordering Russia whose capital is Riga. John.
Latvia.
That's correct. A British city or the author of Call of the... Tyler.
London.
Correct. Heavy bluish gray metal whose symbol is PB. Tyler.
Lead.
That's right. Commander of the Army of Northern Virginia in the Civil War. John.
Lee.
That's right. Branch of the government responsible for making John.
Legislative.
That's correct. In Irish folklore, a mischievous sprite. Tyler.
Leprechaun.
Correct. Piece of transparent material used to focus light rays. Tyler.
Lens.
Right. Cancer of the bone marrow leading to the production of abnormal blood cells. Tyler.
Leprosy.
Incorrect. In the Bible, the 3rd book of the Old Testament. JT.
Leviticus.
Correct. A band of strong fibrous tissue that connects the bones. JT.
Ligament.
That's right. The capital of Nebraska. John.
Lincoln.
Correct. Enormous real estate bargain made by President Jefferson in 18... Tyler.
Louisiana Purchase.
Correct. Former Parisian Palace of the Kings of France, now a famous museum. John.
Louvre.
That's right. Any material such as grease or oil that reduces friction. John.
Lipid.
Incorrect. A German monk and theologian who led the Reformation. John.
Luther.
Correct. Of the 40 kings of France, 18 of them had this name. Tyler.
Louis.
That's correct. Now, the only ones we did not get, the material such as grease or oil that reduces friction is a lubricant, and cancer of the bone marrow we call leukemia. We'll come back with our final score right after this.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the College Fair.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Our final score today is Richlands 44, White Oak 30. Richlands returns in just a moment to play Northside, so please keep watching.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the College Fair.
Miss Nicole Martin, our 2017-18 Onslow County Schools Teacher of the Year. Creative thinker, marvelous teacher, advocate for public education and students, and superhero, Miss Nicole Martin.
Onslow County has just been, is just the greatest district that anyone could ever ask to work for. And really, I know we have cameras in here, but you really have to turn it on these students. I mean, I couldn't do anything that I do if it wasn't for my students. My honors class is in here right now. They were working really hard. And some of my student leaders are in here. They work so hard to help make everything possible and to have a supportive principal and a supportive district that really enables us to do everything that we do here in Onslow County.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the college fair.
And welcome back to High School Academic Derby. In our second match today, Richlands plays Northside. We'll meet our coaches and players now, starting with Richlands. Their coach is Justine Smith, and her players are
Joshua Larimore, sophomore.
Tyler Martin, sophomore.
Riley Stone, freshman.
JG Sandlin, sophomore.
Northside is coached by Rachel Livermore. Her players are
Scott Miller, sophomore.
Jasmine Bryant, junior.
Justin Batista, senior.
Conrad Koltig, sophomore.
Toss-up number 1 relates to science. Complete the following analogy that is related to SI measurements. Force is to Newton as blank is to Coulomb. Justin?
Pressure.
Incorrect. Richlands? It's electric charge. Next toss-up is from fashion. Named after a dagger in the 1930s and also called a spike, this very tall heel on a woman's shoe tapers to a point. Identify this fashion fad designed to give Jasmine.
Stiletto.
Correct. For your bonus, I will read a description of a traditional or unique type of clothing worn by a person. You identify the type or piece of clothing described. Number 1, head cover worn by Turkish men in the shape of a cone or cylinder, usually sporting a tassel. Number 2, a round cap with a soft crown that fits snugly on the head and can be shaped in a variety of ways. Number 3, heavy jacket with a hood, usually lined with fur or faux fur. And number 4, a sandal having a rope sole and a canvas upper part. Justin?
For number 1, we have Fez. For number 2, we have yarmulke. For number 3, we have parka. And for number 4, we have nothing.
1 and 3 are correct for 4 points. Richlands, 2 or 4?
For 2, we have turban. Nothing for 4.
Number 2 is a beret, and number 4, an espadrille. Novels. In this novel by Anne Brashares, Brashares, 4 teenage girls, best friends since earliest childhood, stay in touch through a shared Jasmine.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Correct. For your bonus, identify the author of each novel or work. Number 1, All the Pretty Horses. Number 2, War and Peace. Number 3, The Bluest Eye, EYE. And number 4, The Glass Menagerie. Justin.
For number 2, we have General Sue.
That's incorrect. Richlands, any of the 4?
2, we have Leo Tolstoy.
Tolstoy's correct for 2 points. Number 1, Cormac McCarthy. Number 3, Toni Morrison. And number 4, Tennessee Williams. Vocabulary. While psychology studies individual human behavior, which discipline is dedicated to the study of human behavior within a group? Justin.
Sociology.
Correct. For your bonus, identify each of the following associated with the field of psychology. Number 1, state of the body that causes feelings such as hope, fear, or love. Number 2, the process of looking inside oneself to examine his or her feelings, used extensively by Wundt, the psychologist WNDT. Number 3, pro-social behaviors a person carries out without considering his or her own safety or interest. And number 4, name for a rebellious antisocial group with limited membership and strict rules, not connected with school or accepted social groups. Justin.
For number 1, we have emotion. For number 2, we have self-meditating. For number 3, we have obsessive compulsive disorder. And for number 4, we have a gang.
1 and 4 correct for 4 points. 2 or 3, Richlands?
For 2, we have introspection.
Introspection is correct for 2 points. Number 3 is altruism. Geography. Among the Canadian provinces, which is the only one that is adjacent to the Great Lakes? Tyler.
Manitoba.
Incorrect. North side? Scott.
Quebec.
Ontario. U.S. history. During the 1936 presidential election, a Literary Digest poll predicted President Franklin D. Roosevelt would lose to this candidate by unknowingly using a biased sample in their poll. Who was the man predicted to win by most media outlets based on this faulty survey? Alf Landon is his name. Native Americans. According to D. Brown in the book Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, this Lakota chief once said, "One does not sell the earth upon which the people walk." Identify this revered leader whose stone monument is still under construction in South Dakota. His name was Crazy Horse. That's the end of round 1. We'll come back with our score in round 2 in just a moment.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the College Fair.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
And after one round, our score is Northside 14, Richlands 4. Let's meet our new players. We'll start with Richlands.
Mark Silvani, senior. Jason Lassila, senior.
And for Northside?
Nathaniel Wynn, sophomore.
First toss-up in this round deals with famous people. Although he was well known as a mathematician, this sage was also a musician who, when studying the lyre, observed that longer strings produced a lower pitch. Jasmine.
Pythagoras.
Correct. For your bonus, identify each of the following associated with sound. Number 1, an instrument used to analyze sound waves. Number 2, the unit used to measure the loudness or intensity of sound. Number 3, the name for sounds with a frequency higher than 20,000 hertz. Number 4, in stereo sound reproduction, this adjective describes the faithfulness of a sound to the original. Justin.
For number 1, we have a amp meter. For number 2, we have decibels. For number 3, we have inaudible. And for number 4, we have clarity.
Number 2 is correct for 2 points, 1, 3, or 4. Rich Lands?
Nothing for 1 or 4, but for 3 we have ultrasound.
Ultrasound or ultrasonic is correct for 2 points. Number 1, an oscilloscope. Number 4, fidelity. Math toss-up. It's not a calculation, so I'll only be reading it once. A system of 2 equations is graphed, and the lines are found to be parallel. What adjective is used to describe such a system? Nathaniel.
Congruent.
Incorrect. Richlands? Jason.
No solution.
Inconsistent. Music. Identify the form of romantic music often accompanied by a guitar. In movies, the singer is often shown giving his performance below the window of a beloved. Jason.
Serenade?
That's right. For your bonus, given a description, name each person or idea from the field of music. Number 1, the German composer who conducted his last on-stage concert with the premiere of his 9th symphony. Number 2, the male singing voice immediately below tenor. Number 3, genre of music associated with the buffa, B-U-F-F-A, variety. And number 4, the smallest pitch difference between notes in most Western music. Tyler?
For 1 we have Beethoven, for 2 we have bass, and for 4 we have cent. Nothing for 3.
Number 1 is correct for 2 points, 2, 3, or 4, North Side.
For number 2, we have baritone. For number 3, for number 3 we have jazz, and for number 4 we have a flat.
Baritone is correct for 2 points. Number 3 is opera. Number 4, a semitone. U.S. history. When peace negotiations began in Paris on April 1782 between the Kingdom of Great Britain and the United States of America as a means to ending the Revolutionary War, 4 American statesmen contributed to the drafting of this agreement. Identify any 2 of the 4 men. Jasmine.
Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson.
Incorrect. Richlands? Tyler.
Benjamin Franklin, Sam Adams.
Benjamin Franklin, John Jay, Henry Lawrence, and John Adams. Cooking. When cooking, what process that is often accomplished with a spatula is used to incorporate a delicate substance such as whipped cream or beaten egg whites into another substance without releasing air bubbles? Justin.
Whisking.
Incorrect, and I'll finish reading it out for the other team. It begins with the letter F. Tyler.
Folding over.
Folding or folding over is correct. For your bonus, identify each of the following foods or terms from the culinary arts. Number 1, the white powdery plant-derived substance used as a thickening agent in gravies or pies. Number 2, to decorate a dish by adding sprigs of parsley, slices of lemon, or other raw vegetables to the plate. Number 3, a synthetic man-made substitute for butter. Number 4, to moisten foods during cooking with pan drippings or special sauce to add flavor and to prevent drying. Tyler.
For 1, we have flour. For 2, we have garnish. For 3, we have margarine. And for 4, we have marinate.
2 and 3 are correct for 4 points. 1 and 4, north side.
For 1, we have cornstarch, and for 4, we have greasing.
Cornstarch is correct for 2. Number 4 is based. Our next toss-up is from mythology. Name the site on Mount Parnassus that was sacred to Apollo because both his temple and his oracle were located there. Scott.
Delphi.
That's right. For your bonus, identify each of the following mythological deities. Number 1, the Greek god of darkness. Number 2, the Greek queen of the gods. Number 3, the Greek god of the shepherds. And number 4, the Roman goddess of the hunt and of the moon. Justin.
For number 1, we have Hades. For number 2, we have Hera. For number 3, we have Hercules. And for number 4, we have Artemis.
Number 2 is correct for 2 points. Richlands, 1, 3, or 4?
For 1, we have Nox. For 3, we have Pan. And for 4, we have Diana.
3 and 4 correct for 4 points. Number 1 is Erebus. And that's the end of the second round. We'll come back with the lightning round right after this.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the College Fair.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
After 2 rounds, our score is Northside 26, Richlands 21. Let's meet some new players before we start our lightning round, and we'll meet first from Richlands.
Kayla Selby, freshman.
And from Northside?
Ivan Tavera, sophomore. Jaheim White, sophomore.
In this lightning round, players, I'm going to give you the name of a famous literary work. It might be a novel, short story, poem, whatever. You tell me its author. Okay? Moby Dick. Justin. Sorry. Robinson Crusoe. Romeo and Juliet. Jasmine.
Shakespeare.
Correct. Paradise Lost. Tom Sawyer. Tyler.
Mark Twain.
Correct. The House of the Seven Gables. The Raven. Jaheim.
Edgar Allan Poe.
That's right. Treasure Island. Jaheim.
Jack London.
Incorrect. The Wife of Bath's Tale. Wuthering Heights. Jasmine.
Jane Austen.
Incorrect. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Jasmine.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Incorrect. The Hound of the Baskervilles. For Whom the Bell Tolls. Frankenstein. Tyler.
Mary Shelley.
That's right. The Fall of the House of Usher. Jaheim.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Correct. The Great Gatsby. Jasmine. The Road Less Traveled. Tyler.
Robert Frost.
Correct. The Red Badge of Courage. Hamlet. Tyler.
Shakespeare.
That's right. And Mirror. Okay, the ones that we did not answer. Moby Dick was by Herman Melville. Robinson Crusoe was written by Daniel Defoe. Paradise Lost by John Milton. The House of the Seven Gables by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Treasure Island was by Robert Louis Stevenson. The Wife of Bath's Tale was by Geoffrey Chaucer. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Hound of the Baskervilles, Arthur Conan Doyle. For Whom the Bell Tolls, Ernest Hemingway. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. The Red Badge of Courage, Stephen Crane. And Mirror is by Sylvia Plath. We'll add in our lightning round points and come back with a final score in just a moment.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the College Fair.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And our final score today is Richlands 39, Northside 32. We'll return with our final game, which is Jacksonville against Swansboro, in just a few minutes.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the College Fair.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Surprise! I think you might have figured it out. There's a special person here at Swansboro Middle School that this morning is being named the Onslow County Schools Assistant Principal of the Year. Let's hear it for Mr. Mabry!
We're so proud of you, and really I have the favor of doing one of the best things here today is present you a check for $750 for this honor to you and your family, and congratulations. And we know you have great expectations and dreams to go forward, and we're looking forward to your path.
Thank you,
so congratulations again.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the College Fair.
And welcome back to High School Academic Derby. In our final match of the day, Jacksonville plays Swansboro. Let's meet our coaches and players. Starting with Jacksonville, coached by Tony Zernheld. His players are
Delphin Monahan, Jr.
Lizzie Coleman, Senior.
Kale Quintero, Senior.
Austin Darty, Senior.
Swansboro is coached by Christina Golden, and her players for this round will be
Parker Thompson, Jr.
Nicole Plaster, Senior.
Christina Stair, Senior.
Alejandro Rivera, freshman.
Toss-up number 1 deals with drama. Which playwright was the first to introduce to American drama the technique of realism formerly seen in the works of Anton Chekhov? His well-known works include Morning Becomes Electra and Long Day's Journey into Night. Lizzie.
Arthur Miller.
Incorrect. Swansboro. His name is Eugene O'Neill. Geography. Situated between central Afghanistan and northern Pakistan, this mountain range was known in ancient Greece as the Caucasus Indicus. Identify this range whose name is derived from the Arabic for Mountains of India. Lizzie.
The Caucasus.
Incorrect. Swansboro. The Hindu Kush. Math calculation, so I'll read it twice for you. Susie is graphing an equation in the Cartesian coordinate system. Her teacher defines the graph as the locus of points equidistant from a fixed point, called the focus, and a given line, called the directrix. What type of graph is Susie creating? Susie is graphing an equation in the Cartesian coordinate system. Her teacher defines the graph as the locus of points equidistant from a fixed point called the focus and a given line called the directrix. What type of graph is Susie creating? Austin. That's right. For your bonus, identify each equation's graph as a line. These are your choices: a line, parabola, circle, ellipse, or hyperbola. Assume all eccentricities are satisfied. Number 1, 6x minus 4 equals 9y squared. Number 2, x squared plus 3x equals y squared minus 9y minus 4 equals 0. Number 3, x squared plus 6x equals negative 9y squared plus 3y plus 1. Number 4, 5x squared plus 3x plus 5y squared plus 2y plus 1 equals 0.
We have parabola. For number 2, we have ellipse. For number 3, we have ellipse. And for number 4, we have hyperbola.
1 and 3 are correct for 4 points. 2 or 4, Swansboro?
For 2, we have circle, and for 4, we have circle.
Circle is correct for number 4. Number 2 is a hyperbola. Fine arts. in both music and poetry. What name is given to a regularly recurring phrase or verse, especially one found at the end of the piece? Parker.
Motif.
Incorrect. Jacksonville. Lizzie.
Chorus.
It's called a refrain. Chemistry. Although common liquid propane gas is now used to fuel hot air balloons, in previous times, balloons designed by Jacques Charles utilized this gas. Identify. Austin.
Helium.
Incorrect. Swansboro. It was hydrogen. Vocabulary. Of the following 5 words, which one is not a synonym for the other 4? Which one is not a synonym for the other 4? Antithetical, disparate, compatible, diverse, contradictory. Lizzie.
Compatible.
Compatible is correct. For your bonus, provide the appropriate antonym for each of the following words. This has 6 letters, beginning with the letters CL, and it's an antonym for the word coordinated. Number 2, 8 letters, beginning with DI, an antonym for the verb precipitate or precipitate. Number 3, 9 letters, beginning with CO, an antonym for the word rude. Number 4, 8 letters, beginning with TR, an antonym for the word noisy. Lizzie.
For number 1, we have clumsy. For number 2, we have dissolve. For number 3, we have cooperative.
Numbers 1 and 2 are correct for 4 points. Swansboro, 3 or 4?
Number 3, we have complement.
Number 3 we have is courteous. Number 4, tranquil. Sports. Women coaching women's sports is not big news, but women coaching men's professional sports did gather some attention in the year 2015 to 2016. Following Jen Welter's part-time hire in July by the Arizona Cardinals, which other NFL team made history in 2016 when they announced the first female full-time hire, Catherine Smith? Parker.
The New England Patriots.
Nope. Jacksonville? You're in the right conference. It was the Buffalo Bills. Geography. In the Latin language, the word Hibernia translates to this island nation's name. Identify this European sovereign state often referred to in poetry by the word Hibernia. Christina.
Ireland.
Ireland is right. For your bonus, identify the following people, words, or places that begin with the letter H. If the correct response is the name of a person, it will be the last name that begins with the letter H. Number 1, a pictorial symbol representing an idea, object, or sound. Number 2, verb meaning to interfere with the progress or action of an event or project. Number 3, the Onondagan leader credited with organizing the Iroquois Confederacy. Number 4, a noun that designates the handle of a dagger or sword. Christina.
For number 2, we have hyperbole, or for number 2, we have hinder, rather. For number 1, we have hyperbole, and for number 4, we have hilt.
2 and 4 correct for 4 points. Jacksonville, 1 or 3?
For number 1, we have hieroglyph, and that's it.
Hieroglyph or hieroglyphics would be correct for 2 points. Number 3 is Hiawatha. That's the end of round 1. We'll come back with round 2 and our score in just a moment.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the College Fair.
I teach because I love kids. History is something that I do, but the kids are what I love, and they're the biggest reason why I'm here, that building strong relationships and being a good role model for them, that's the most important part of teaching for me.
After one round, our score is Jacksonville 14, Swansboro 8. Again, we have new players to meet. We'll start with Jacksonville.
Julia Nazat, Jr.
And for Swansboro, we have
Isabella Willis, Jr.
toss-up number one is from biology. Give the scientific term that describes tiny organisms that drift at or near the surface of the ocean and often serve as food for other sea creatures. Christina.
Plankton.
Right. For your bonus, identify each term from zoology. Number one, common name for a one-shelled mollusk. Number two, scientific class to which snails and slugs belong. Number three, structure in mollusks that allows for both breathing and excretion. Number four, the caudal vertebra that support the tail feathers and musculature in birds. Christina?
For number 2, we have muscle, and for number 3, we have mouth.
Those are not correct. Jacksonville, any of the four?
For number 1, we have crab, and for number 2, we have mollusca.
Number 1 is a univalve, number 2, gastropoda, number 3, gill, and number 4, pygostyle. Math, I'll read it twice for you. A square matrix is composed of the elements 6 and 8 in the top row, and 4 and -3 in the bottom row. Find the determinant of this matrix. A square matrix is composed of the elements 6 and 8 in the top row and 4 and -3 in the bottom row. Find the determinant of this matrix. The answer is -50. Geography. Identify the Central American nation that lies adjacent to both Costa Rica and Colombia. Alejandro?
Dominican Republic.
Incorrect. Jacksonville? Austin?
Panama.
Panama is correct. For your bonus, I will read the name of 2 countries. You are to identify the only country that is adjacent to or that borders both countries named. Number 1, Belgium and Poland. Number 2, Burma and India. Number 3, Latvia and Russia. Number 4, Belgium and Germany. Lizzie.
For number 1, we have Germany. For number 2, we have Nepal. For number 3, we have Estonia. And for number 4, we have the Netherlands.
1, 3, and 4 correct for 6 points. Number 2, Swansboro.
For number 2, we have Cambodia.
It's Bangladesh. Economics. In economics, the principle that self-interested market participants may unknowingly maximize the welfare of society as a whole by their actions is designated by which two-word metaphor created by Adam Smith? Parker.
Laissez-faire.
Incorrect. Jacksonville. It's called invisible hand. Geography. Located in Oceania, this 300-plus island archipelago is noted for its blue lagoons and rugged landscape. Identify this vacation destination in the heart of the South Pacific, whose capital is Suva, and after which a commercially marketed bottled water is named. Alejandro.
Fiji.
That's right. For your bonus, given the name of an island nation, identify the capital city. Number 1, Jamaica. Number 2, Mauritius. Number 3, Japan. Number 4, Comoros, C-O-M-O-R-O-S. Christina?
Number 1, we have Kingston. And for number 3, we have Tokyo.
Those are both correct for 4 points. Jacksonville, 2 or 4?
We have neither.
For number 2, it's Port Louis, and number 4, Moroni. Vocabulary. By what name is a group of young birds that hatch and are cared for at one time by the same mother known? The correct response begins with the letter B. It's called a brood. Earth science. The most abundant form of coal in the United States, this type of coal is used to generate electricity and make coke for the steel industry. Identify this coal variant. It's called bituminous. Math. This is not a calculation, so I'll just read it once. What adjective describes a circle when each vertex of a given polygon lies on the circle? Austin?
Inscribed.
Incorrect. Swansboro? Circumscribed. That's the end of round 2. We'll come back with a lightning round right after this.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the College Fair.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
The score is Jacksonville 22, Swansboro 16. Today's lightning round has answers that will begin with the letter M. Ready? An African nation whose capital is Rabat. Christina.
Morocco.
Correct. A device that converts sound into electrical energy. Calliope, Euterpe, Iratu, Polyhymnia, Clito, Lizzie.
Muses.
Correct. Common name for the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of the Lizzie.
Mormons.
That's right. The process of nuclear division in cells that results in the formation of gametes. Alejandro.
Mutation.
Incorrect. Native people inhabiting southern Mexico and Central America, famous for their very accurate calendar. Parker.
Mayans.
That's right. Royal cousin of Queen Elizabeth I, whom Elizabeth had beheaded. Christina.
Mary.
That's right. The New England state with the largest population. Austin.
Massachusetts.
Correct. The nation formerly known as Burma. Christina.
Myanmar.
That's right. French brothers who invented the hot air balloon. Asian nation whose capital is Ulaanbaatar. Lizzie.
Mongolia.
Correct. A device used to transmit and receive digital data over analog communication lines. State, which consists of an upper and lower peninsula. In physics, the quantity of matter in a body, regardless of its volume or any forces acting on it. Christina.
Mass.
That's right. Case in which the United States Supreme Court established its power to review the Lizzie.
Marbury versus Madison.
Correct. In Greek mythology, a monster with a bull's head and a man's. Christina.
Minotaur.
Correct. The 5th President of the United States. Lizzie.
Monroe.
That's right. George Washington's private home. Lizzie.
Mount Vernon.
Correct. Composer of the Magic Flute and the Marriage. Lizzie.
Mozart.
Correct. Contractile tissue that brings about movement of the body. Lizzie.
Muscles.
That's right. Okay, the ones we did not get, the process of nuclear division that results in the formation of gametes with half the normal number of chromosomes is meiosis. A microphone is a device that converts sound into electrical energy. It's the Montgolfier brothers who invented the hot air balloon. A modem is used to transmit and receive digital data. Michigan has an upper and lower peninsula, and we got all the rest of them. So we'll be back with our final score in just a moment.
And we are here to congratulate Mr. Timothy Foster for receiving the Principal of the Year Award from Wells Fargo for 2018. Can you believe it? Tim Foster. Congratulations, Tim.
Appreciate it. We're proud of you for what you do with our children, and it's wonderful that you're able to mold these children over the years. I've always heard those great stories and the roads that you are going to take still in leading our young people is tremendous. So thank you, and congratulations again for this great honor.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Join us for the College Fair on Wednesday, October 25th at Northside High School. Middle school students are welcome from 5:30 to 6 p.m. and high school students from 6 to 8 p.m. Representatives from over 60 colleges will help answer all of your questions about applying, tuition, and college life. So we'll see you at the College Fair.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Today's final score is Jacksonville 42, Swansboro 28. High School Academic Derby is brought to you as a production of the Onslow County Schools. We invite you all to our next set of matches, which includes Dixon taking on Southwest and then Northside. Until then, thanks for watching and have a good evening.